just give him some black coffee. And that's all he needed was black coffee. He got it together.
Oh, okay. All right. Had the Korean conflict ended at this time?
No.
Okay, that's what I'm thinking. Yeah.
No, Korean conflict did not end. It still hasn't ended officially.
Right. But the combat.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I see that you were an SFC, a Sergeant First Class?
3 of them, 2 down.
Okay. Now you got promoted pretty quickly there, didn't you?
Well, we went by the TO&E, Table of Organization. Now, I learned a lot from these fellas. And when the older group rotated out, then we just moved up in rank like that.
Okay. All right.
But then another thing, after that, we had to go before a review board. And see, then they would sit and ask you different questions, you know, to see what you knew.
Right.
So I had what was known as on-the-job training.
Right. So what were some of your more interesting jobs as a combat construction specialist? What was some of the more memorable job that you might have worked on?
Oh, we worked on, I remember what is known as the Bailey Bridge.
Okay.
Now, on the Bailey Bridge, they have a panel. And the panel weighs 400 pounds. And the transit weighs 600 pounds. And what you do, you hook it in, and you just keep hooking them in, pushing. And like they blew a bridge, and we had to do it. And we had a battalion commander they called Wild Bill. Now, Wild Bill did not care what happened.
Okay.
But he did not want his officers loafing while his men were working. And they always kept somebody down the line and say, here come Wild Bill.
Okay.
Then you see them officers jump down and get to working just like those soldiers were.
Right.
And I remember they sent inspection team in one time to watch us. We would work on the bridge. And at that time, he moved me up to a platoon sergeant. And lieutenant said, go report to the officers. So I went down there, these 3 colonels and everything like that. And he came back, well, we did so and so and so. We worked 24 hours to keep, in the wintertime, to keep the MSR, main supply route, open. And they had these 4-ton dump trucks that would come, and they had the bulldozers and everything, and we go into the side of the mountain and get this gravel and put it in there, and they go out. And Gordon said, whatever you do, go down and tell them what they want to hear. You understand? He said, they're not going to be out here, and in the wintertime, they're not going to be out here long because it's too cold.
Sure.
So I worked from 6 at night to 6 in the morning, and then my assistant came in and worked from 6 in the morning to 6 in the evening. And we had this Mormon who came in and ate cheese on my company commander.
Oh, okay.
And they made him the company commander. And we were out there working. Now, it was cold that night. Believe me, it was cold. And he came out there and he said, look, we're going to shut down this operation. Well, he is a first lieutenant in charge of the platoon, and I'm just a platoon sergeant.
Right.
So, you know, if he says cut it down, cut it down. So, okay, we cut it down. And I go in and I'm asleep, and the assistant comes in and he said, Colonel wants to see you. I said, listen, I've been up all night and all. He said, Crosby, Colonel said he wants to see you. So go out, and the Colonel chewed me up the road and down. He said, that's why I sent you out here, to make sure that this operation went on. Now, you know this, blah, blah, blah. Yes, sir, yes, blah, 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 blah. And the captain came over, he said, did Lieutenant Ashworth tell you to close it down? I saved him. That's one mistake in life I made. I wished I could go back and correct it. He said, because if it is, I'm going to fix him.
Wow.
And when he went on R&R, the other officers rebelled against him, and they went in because he drank heavy, you know.
The lieutenant?
The captain.
Oh, the captain, okay.
See, Lieutenant Ashworth was a Mormon. You know, he wasn't doing any
Right.
drinking.
And but you didn't tell on him.
No, I didn't tell him.
Okay.
I regret it.
Okay, why you regret that?
Well, see, when they moved Captain Shirts out, they made Lieutenant Ashworth the acting company commander.
Right, right. Mm-hmm.
And we had a few choices. In fact, one of the platoon leaders went in one day, and told we went out the road. We needed a 2.5, and all the soldiers had fallen out except this one fellow.
Mm-hmm.
Now he was in there, and he refused to fall out. And when the lieutenant went in to get him, he pulled his M1 on the lieutenant.
Wow.
See, the lieutenant ran out to the tent. And we were sleeping in squad tents.
Okay.
He came out and told me, go in and get Hawkins.
The man with the M1.
The man with the M1. Well, see, I didn't have no trouble with Hawkins. When I told Hawkins, I gave him, I'm gonna count to 3. If he's not on there, I'm taking him out. Hawkins went and got on thing. The other soldiers come and told me, he said, Sergeant, I said, listen, Lieutenant did not tell you that Hawkins drew his rifle on him. I said, no, he didn't tell me that. So I went back and I told the lieutenant, I said, listen, let me explain something to you. I said, you didn't tell me that Hawkins drew his M1 on you. I said, no, you have a problem. I said, if anything comes about, I'll handle it. You come and tell me. Don't pull that no more. And then we had a talk. He and I went up the hills. It was just 2 of us going up there. It would be just like, I looked at it, it could be just like the captain on the ship. Take the crew on some island, take everybody, bury the treasure. He kills everybody, come back, nobody knows where the treasure is but him. And I told him, I said, you know, you look like a sorry excuse. Officer in the United States Army, chewing tobacco juice running down your mouth and all like that. And I read a riot act to him. I didn't have any more trouble with him. And to offset it, I went to the chaplain and called a platoon meeting, and the chaplain came down and verified everything that went on. Okay. They did to the chaplain. The chaplain leaves and goes to the lieutenant and the commander and reads the riot act to him.
Oh, okay.
But he and I kept having clashes, so I told him, I said, I wanted to see the colonel. So he tells me, you can't see the colonel. Whatever he got to say, you tell me. I said, if I had to tell you, I don't need to see the colonel. Right. I said, but I see the colonel every day. I said, now I'm going to see the colonel one way or the other. I said, I'm going to try to do it the right way, you know. And the colonel, I made an appointment to go see the colonel. I told the colonel I wanted a transfer. Right. Because I had signed a waiver. I said I was going to stay overseas until it was time for me to get discharged from the Army, because I figured if I come back to, they're going to send me south, and that was going to be a problem. So I said I'd stay until, if I come back in August, take a 30-day furlough, then I could get out. And the captain said, I'd signed a waiver. He said, I am not going to send you to another outfit, so I'll send you back to the States. And Ashworth, I said, well, Colonel Johnstone, I'm going to have a problem. He said, what's that? I said, Lieutenant Ashworth is not going to give me a good efficiency report. He said, oh, Lieutenant Ashworth is going to give you an excellent efficiency report, which he did. When the colonel told me what he better do. Right. So then I came on back and I went, took my 30 days and I came back. Now I'm stationed at Fort Sheridan.
Okay. Now, where is Sheridan? So
in Chicago. Chicago. It's in Highwood, Illinois.
Okay. I'm just making sure the camera knows. Okay. All right. So you had your 30. How did you get back home? From Korea to the States?
Took a ship.
Took another ship. Okay.
Took a ship.
Okay. Was this another
troop ship?
Another troop ship. Okay. Did you Was that eventful? Did you run into any typhoons or storms? Or
No, well, coming back, I didn't run into the storm.